Hey guys, and welcome back to Zillennial Support Group podcast. We have a very special episode today. Do you want to introduce it, Maria?
Yeah, so we are here with our very first guest on the podcast, Molly Smith. Molly is a master of all things marketing, media, communications. She writes marketing content, news stories, prose, poetry. She's like basically just like a quadruple threat. And she has worked for Inlander, Achievement Rocky Mountain, and she is getting her master's in marketing from the University of Denver super, super soon. So early congratulations.
Thank
Uh,
you.
and she is also the incredible host of the Did That Age Well podcast, where she invites guests to talk about movies from their childhood and if they aged well, because they usually do not. So, welcome, Molly. We're very excited to have you here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's so fun to be here. So glad to have some time to hang with the two of you. And thank you for that lovely introduction.
You're very successful, like, with marketing and everything. That
Thank
sounds
you.
like such a fun. I don't know, I feel like it's such a changing world, so that's really
It
awesome.
is. Yeah, I feel like during the time that I was in grad school, this whole thing happened with TikTok. And now I don't know how to, I know how to consume TikTok content. I don't know how to make it. I don't know how to make a profit from it. Hopefully, none of my future employers are watching this, but it's like stuff like that where it's like I'm out of, I haven't been in the work space in a year, and now already there's this whole new thing. So, just one example of how it's always changing, but it's exciting. I mean, writing content is pretty much the same no matter what. But yeah,
Awesome. Yeah, no, I don't know how, like, companies are making all these. I don't know, I'm always very impressed by the, like, book talk TikTok people that are like, they trick you into getting interested in the book by doing like this fake story time, and they're like, the past house sitter has gone missing for days, and I'm like,
yeah.
I'm concerned. Should I call someone? And they're like, this is this book.
Oh my God.
So
No, I've
anything
definitely
that's gonna
been
grab them.
caught by a few of those where I'm like, oh my God, this person is insane. And then it's just a book.
Yeah,
Right.
but then sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're just real people. You
You
never
never
know.
know. You never
Yeah.
know.
So do you like identify yourself as like a millennial or on the cusp or Gen Z, or where do you feel you fall?
So I was born in 1994 and I identify as a millennial. And I mean, in part because that's the range that I fit into, but also because I have an older sister who's 4 years older than me. And pretty much all the stuff she liked is what I like.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I kind of identify more with that older millennial crowd, but I do have a just like everyone, I have a total fascination and reverence for Gen Z. There's so much I don't understand, but I also I'm kind of like I'm one of the younger people in my group of friends, so I get to be the one who's like closer to that age range to bring in the new language to tell everyone what's cheugy, what's not. Yeah.
So, like, what was your first social media? Like, were you old enough that you had like MySpace and stuff like that?
I did. My very first social media was actually Zanga, which
Ooh.
was yeah, very indie, very cool. It was a blog platform. That was when I was in like 6th grade, but then my main social media platform of that era was MySpace. That was where I really dove in.
What did you like blog about in sixth grade?
Like nothing. I think I just like created it and was like, maybe I'll connect with some friends, like chat rooms and stuff. But I don't think I really did anything with it. I don't have any strong memories with Zanga. So I definitely identify more with like the MySpace generation.
Gotcha,
What
gotcha.
age do you think you sort of transitioned out of MySpace and into like another platform?
I transitioned out of MySpace into Facebook when I was in 9th grade. I remember that was a very formative time because I still had to ask my mom if I could get a Facebook because I knew that I would get in trouble if I didn't ask first. And so when I was in ninth grade, I was like, listen, mom, I'm in high school now. Let me have Facebook. She said yes.
That was a big moment.
Big moment.
Yeah, I think the only social media platform I like asked permission to be on was Club Penguin when I was
Oh my
like
God,
12.
yes. I asked permission to be on Neopets.
Oh
I
yeah.
love
Wow.
Neopets.
Me too.
Incredible. Yeah, no, I did ask for permission on Facebook. Um, I feel like it would have been better if like my parents also like checked all of my posts because I feel like they were just all bad. Like I was
Yeah.
just posting things like I'm bored or like school and I just need someone
Yeah,
to just stop me.
Wow.
it was that era when it would prompt you with like your name and then is. So I have so many posts that come up in my feed from my memories that say like Molly Smith is doing homework. Molly Smith is happy. Molly Smith is having the time of her life. And it's always so coy and vague. I'm like, give us more. What's going on? Tell us. What did you eat for dinner? Why are you tired? Why are you happy? What's happening?
I love that.
Little Molly, she doesn't tell. She doesn't
It's
share
true
her
you will never
secrets.
tell us.
No.
That would be interesting for like historians to look at like Facebook posts. I just
Totally.
remember all of the like truth is things and then for some reason I would always like the people that like I was very vague acquaintances of. So I just got a
Mhm.
bunch of truth is that were like, don't really know you very well. Here you go.
The truth is, I don't know you.
I feel
Yeah.
like I was young enough that I still believed everyone was who they said they were
Mhm.
online.
Definitely.
And so I was friends with what I thought was the entire cast of the Chronicles of Narnia.
Wait, for real? You thought it was legit?
Yeah. And I would message them back and
Oh.
forth and like I was a really big theater kid. And I don't know like what you get out of pretending to be someone on Facebook. Like maybe you could be like, "Hi, like Georgie Henley is suffering, like send me money or something." But I'm just there like, "Hey, could you give me monologue tips?" And I just feel like they signed up
Oh.
for way more than they thought.
They really did. You challenged them, and maybe it was good for them.
I still
Wow.
hope it was the real cast.
I hope so too.
Bye.
That's crazy. I remember using Facebook like, I don't know, like I was a really emo kid. I would write like lyrics with no
Mhm.
context.
Yep.
And like that's not an acceptable thing I would do on my social media today.
Nope.
But yeah, and I never had like a picture of myself as my profile photo. It was always like a photo I got off of like Google Images of my favorite band or something. So it was like a big step in my social media lifetime was when I started actually posting pictures of myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big moments.
I have like some, I don't know how real they are, but uh so at least like with uh jobs and stuff, apparently like millennials are more likely to value stability while Gen Z is very much like dream job go after.
Really?
But
Wait, I
yeah,
just read an article that it says the opposite.
they're gonna
that,
fight.
that because Gen Z has grown up with like Trump and stuff, they're very scared of not making money and like
Oh.
scared of poverty. But like, I guess it goes to show that nobody knows what's going on.
No.
The two articles say two different things, but
They also say like more Gen Zers will follow their parents' influence, but I feel like that would be the
Oh.
opposite because I feel like
Yeah, I feel like it would
we're
too.
yeah.
angsty. Like Gen Z is so angsty on everything.
Right. And I
Well,
also feel like there's on here's the thing is that like I think that people in general, if we're just going to generalize people, most of us value stability the older we get. So it's kind of like, well, yeah, millennials value stability more because that's how aging works. They're like, like the older ones. I don't know.
That's a very good point. Yeah. Um, but yeah, it's super interesting um on what I feel like it's not I mean, I guess from us we're on the cusp, And so it
Mhm.
doesn't feel like it should be a stark of a divide between the two. But everyone seems to think it's like light and dark. I don't know. It's just so
Right.
strange.
Yeah, I feel like they like Gen X and millennials don't have that same relationship dynamic at all.
No, not at all. Because everyone forgets about Gen X. They're the middle child. No one cares. So
I don't understand how it's going from like Gen Z to like Gen Alpha or something now.
yeah.
Is that the newest
I
generation?
think
Mhm.
so.
I don't know. I feel like the names change a little bit in the beginning until they like settle on something. I
Mhm.
think Gen Z used to be called something else, but I can't remember.
I also don't
But
know how they decide like the age range. Like why
Who
96?
decides?
yeah,
Like
Who
who
gets
it
to
takes a
decide?
while. I think Pew Research like a few years ago decided that millennials were like 1980 something, and then they cut it off at 96. And so that was and it's still very up to debate, the cutoff
Yeah.
for millennials and Gen Z. But I don't know. I'm kind of the same way with you. I had an older sister, so I kind of ingested a lot of her media and content when I was growing
Mhm.
up. So I affiliated myself with that. But I also think it has something to do with like how old your parents are as well. Because
Yeah.
my parents are baby boomers, but
Same.
I know friends who they're the same age as me, but their parents are a lot younger. So
Mhm.
they're more into the younger, more current stuff, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super interesting. Like I feel like I learned everything from my older sister and she got me on like AOL and like Instant
Hell yeah.
Messenger and everything. But now she's like coming home and she's like, "Will you teach me TikTok?" so
Aw, cute. Full
um
circle.
so the the roles have been reversed. But so I have a list of things that aren't cool by that Gen Z thinks aren't cool that millennials do.
Oh
And there's a
no.
lot of like crossover between that and like what is Cheugy.
Yeah.
Silvana, would you like to explain Cheugy
I don't
again
know if
to
I
me?
can. I guess because my impression was like it was sort of like people who fall under that sort of like basic stereotype, but like a sort of not as authentic as a person who just genuinely likes basic things, but more like the live, laugh, love, like throw pillows and like Uggs. I have no idea actually.
That's the thing about Chugi stuff is that I read this somewhere that like it's impossible to define, but you know it when you see it. It's like it's like that Gloria Steinem quote
Yeah.
about porn. I don't know what it is, but I know it when I see it. That's how I feel about Chugi stuff. It's like you can't really define it, but then once you start to notice it, you like you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But so they say, so like side parts and skinny jeans are, of course, like the big
Yeah.
thing that Gen Z has turned on, and a lot of millennials feel attacked. Do we all have side parts? You
Well,
can't see mine, but
Yeah.
I have a
at this
side
moment
part.
in time, it appears yes.
Yeah, because I dabbled in the middle part the summer of
Mhm.
2019,
Good for
and
you.
now, yeah, it honestly like I had thought about it for like 20 all of 2018, and then 2019 I took the leap, and then looking back at pictures, I was like that was a bad choice. My face doesn't look good like that, and so I went back, and honestly, I think maybe Gen Zs are just really beautiful and symmetrical and can pull it
Mhm.
off.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm like, it doesn't suit my face shape. And so I feel like it's hard to make an aesthetic thing like millennials' faces just look different when really I think it's, individual versus individual.
Yeah.
But I
I've
don't
been kind
know.
of playing around with it. Like I've been slowly sort of like moving my part closer toward the middle. Some days I just go full middle part. Some days I just embrace the side part. But that really didn't start happening until like a couple of months ago when the internet
Yeah.
exploded, being like, if you have a side part, you can go throw yourself off the balcony because you have no sense at all.
Oh my
Like
God.
that type of drama just made me really rethink it. But honestly, I don't feel that strongly either
Yeah.
way.
It's nice to not be boxed in. You can like shift it depending on the day or your
Yeah.
mood. But
Yeah.
I definitely like looking back at photos from like 2009 and 2010. I was also just like in that awkward preteen phase, but
Mhm.
I would attempt like a really dramatic side part. And now
Yes.
I've learned the air of that and like trying to force it. Um, but yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
whenever I think about the dramatic side part, I think of like My Secret Life of the American Teenager.
Oh
If
my
you
God,
watch that with
yes.
Shailene Woodley
It
had
was
like the
such a
most
heavy bang.
Oh my God. Her hair, it's truly parted like here.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
right over the ear.
there's so much hair on that one side.
Wow,
What
yeah.
a show.
She
What
really took one
a
for
show.
the millennial team there.
Yeah.
But what about you, Maria? Have you been pretty consistent your whole life, or have
Um,
you experimented?
I mean, I have very thick Indian hair, and I think as soon as my hair grew as a child, it was side parted, and I think it stuck there. Like I will like take a shower, comb it all the way back, and it'll go on its own, and it'll fall back where it is. I think we had to do a middle part for like one dance show, and it's like one side of my head would be like go up because it just like wasn't used to doing that.
Wow. Like your hair pattern was stronger than you were.
Yeah.
You can't force
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
What about skinny jeans? What do we feel?
Okay, here's the thing. So I don't like skinny jeans that are super, super skinny. They never like, I mean, like the Hollister era of skinny jeans was atrocious for me. Like, just didn't look good on me. When they get really tight toward the ankle, like my calves are just like too big to handle that. But I do like kind of like a skinny straight leg. And the reason being because I think it's comfortable and also because I'm really short. So it's like easier to just like cuff them one or two times so that they actually like land where they're supposed to. Whereas like a wide leg pant, I have to get it altered. Like I have to get it tailored so that it doesn't drag on the ground. So that's not really an answer, but that's how I feel.
Yeah, I definitely remember like the bell-bottom jeans of my youth, and they'd get like really ripped and frayed at the edges because they'd
Yes.
like totally just be on the ground being constantly stepped on. But yeah, I feel like I found somewhat of a happy medium of having like a loose pant, but it's tapered
Mhm.
at the ankle, so it still like goes
Yes.
in, and I think that's the most flattering for me.
I love
But
that.
I think where I draw the line is I can't do low-waisted jeans. Like
Mm-mm.
skinnier wide leg, wide leg. I've seen a few people try and bring back the like low-rise jeans, and I can't. It's honestly just too traumatic. Like I can't even think about it. Like
Like
it was such like a like my whole life changed when high-waisted jeans came into fashion. Suddenly I
Same.
was like confident and didn't like have to worry about like my butt crack showing in class and
Yes.
exactly.
stuff
We
like
have
that.
enough to
Same.
worry about.
Right? I
I
never want to
know.
go
It's hard
back.
enough being out here, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I have I don't know, I tried to put my skinny jeans back on and I don't know, maybe TMI, but like my vagina was not happy. Like
Yeah.
I've been in sweatpants
Yeah.
this whole time. I
Yeah.
didn't enjoy it. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I remember like the bell bottom thing, and I just remember because I'm a very short person, and I used to get them just so long, and they would if it like rained, that entire part of my leg would be like soaking
Yeah.
wet,
So
and they would become
Yeah.
heavy. So it was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it was like an anchor walking around with an anchor. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's like I've been seeing a lot of people with the style of like really loose and like ripped up and stuff, and I don't know. I just I feel like it doesn't give me enough insulation. I don't know.
I never know what kind of shoes to wear with
Yeah.
really, really loose pants or like wider leg pants or even just like this straight up straight leg. Yeah, if someone could help me.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of shoes I'm supposed to wear with those.
yeah,
Especially with
honestly,
like
I struggle with that too.
yeah. Like with a good boot, I feel like you kind of have to wear like straight leg. Like
Mhm.
I don't know how you would do like baggy and then like I don't know. Don't worry,
Yeah.
I'm not wearing Uggs. Don't worry. But
Yeah. Oh my God. Honestly, that was a trend that I resisted the whole time. Since its inception, I was just like, I can't do Uggs. And honestly, they look pretty comfortable, but I'm not a fan.
I wore like I don't think they were Uggs, but I think I wore like, I don't know, it was like bear claw or something.
Oh yeah,
Something
I
like that.
remember those.
Yeah. But then I like had so much anxiety about if they like ever got wet. I
Mm-hmm.
remember one time we like had a early release from school and we had to like walk home in the snow. And I was like having like, should I just go in my socks? Like, is it worth it?
Oh my
My
God.
mom bought this like I don't remember exactly what it was called, but it was like this heavy duty chemical spray that you would put on something to make it waterproof.
Ooh.
And that's what she would do with our shitty quality boots in the winter in Colorado. Was She would like spray it with stuff. And I mean it worked kind of, but there's not a whole lot that you can do.
Gen Z has also canceled the laughing emoji, like the
Oh
crying
yeah.
laughing emoji.
I use it all the time.
Same.
I
Because
can't help it.
here's the thing is that they're like, oh my gosh, like you have to use the skull emoji, like, I'm dead. But for those who I communicate with who don't understand that yet, I feel like that's a really it's a risky one to take.
They'll just think you're dead.
They'll just think I'm dead.
Yeah, I try and limit my emoji use, but sometimes like if I use a really dry humor, I feel pressure to like use the emoji so that they know that I'm not serious.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like my mom uses like a really wide variety of emojis, like a little bit too much. And then some of my younger friends will just like use their favorite and that's about it. Like I have a friend who just uses the turtle emoji and that's like
Wow.
her brand.
I
But
kind of like that. I mean, there is a full range, and I think that we should use what's at our disposal. But I kind of do a similar thing where I have like probably I have like 4 or 5 of my regulars, and I don't really stray that far off.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not really related, but I was just thinking about do you remember chain emails? Like is that something that
Hmm.
Gen Z people have to worry about? Cuz I feel like constantly I was afraid
No.
like my friend like Miranda was stuck in Brazil and needed my help like every other week.
Yeah. I mean, the constant anxiety of being like, if you don't forward this, you'll die in 7 years. You're
Yeah.
like, oh my God, well, what
Gotta
if?
go. No, it yeah. I was always afraid. I remember there was this one time that I forwarded something to someone because I was really nervous that I was gonna get cursed. And then I got this really angry reply that was like, "How'd you get this email? I literally changed my email so you would stop emailing me."
oh my God.
Ah!
Wow.
I don't think we talk anymore.
That was the curse.
Yeah,
That was
that
the
was the
curse
curse.
coming through.
Yeah,
That's
but
crazy.
and then
Honestly, I think the Gen Z equivalent of that is um like the TikTok algorithm of the like sometimes they'll be like, oh, I put no tags. So if this reaches your For You page, like it's fate. And like you have to like and follow to claim whatever fortune it gives you or like tarot card reading or something like that.
wow.
But yeah, I don't think they
Always
have
like
chain emails the same way.
yeah. Whenever they're like claim the good energy, I'm like, I have lived long enough to know there is no good energy left for me. This is a lie. But then ones that
Yeah.
I do like that are like, this one is specifically for you. And it's like, you will move to London. And I'm like, okay, that could check out. I
Yeah,
believe
I mean
that
that checks out.
one. But Gen Z has also canceled talking about your Hogwarts house.
Oh yeah. I think it's time. I think it's time. Move
Yeah.
on. I think we need to okay, so yeah, like Harry Potter's dope. It's an incredible series. We love it. But I just think that it's starting to get into the same territory as like Disney stuff that
Oh
grown
yeah.
people still really cling on to. Like it is a series that was made for children. Like it was made for kids. It was a young adult novel. if you are in your 20s or 30s, like just, you can appreciate it, but don't make it your personality.
Yeah, I agree. I get the same vibe from like Disney adults and stuff like that, where they're just like a little bit too into it still, that it's like you reach a point of diminishing returns on your excitement.
Yeah.
But I think it's interesting how, like, I mean, Harry Potter houses are the one that is pretty common. I don't think like Percy Jackson parent. I mean, that was still kind of a thing, but it didn't go as far as Hogwarts houses. I don't know if anyone did anything with like Hunger Games. I don't know if anyone was like, I'm a minor. What are you? But it's interesting. Yeah, that one really caught on. And then other things by Gen Z is they say using the word adulting.
Oh yeah, I've always hated that.
Yeah.
I gotta say, from the time that it started several years ago, I was like, I hate that.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it was like really overused with like marketing books and stuff to millennials as they entered the workforce, that I was just like, yeah, it felt too weird at the time, even when it started.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they also say saying doggo and like pupper.
Oh,
Wait, they say what?
Saying like calling a dog doggo and like pupper.
Oh, oh.
sad. I love that. I don't love dog mom, like dog mama or dog mom or dog dad, or when people, okay, I'm sorry, my sister does this, but when a couple has a dog and they're talking to the dog and they're like, "Dad's coming home. Your dad's coming home." It's like, well, it's not dad because it's a human, not a dog. But I do sometimes refer to Izzy as like my Izzy is my dog. Sometimes I refer to her as my kid, and then I want to take it back immediately, and I'm like, oh, I'm doing that dog mom thing. But I do love doggo. I think that's a really fun one.
What do you think of
That's a
fur
cute one.
baby?
Fur baby, kill me. I hate that.
It's just too close to Furby. I don't know.
Yeah, too
Oh
close to
yeah.
Furby. I think it's weird.
Yeah. Other things canceled. They said taking selfies from above. They say like everyone
Mm.
should do it just like straight, and you also should look at the camera. They say millennials look too much at the screen while they're
That's
taking
true.
selfies.
But here's the thing, is that at least on my TikTok For You page, it's made a comeback. So
Ooh.
it's honestly like it's vintage and people are using it again because
Okay.
I've seen a few TikToks where they're like, oh my God, cool new hack. If you take it from a high angle, it's more flattering. And I'm like, yeah, we knew that in like
Yeah, bitch, we know.
2006. But I guess because they grew up just like using their phone from the position they hold it in, that they,
True.
yeah, we never had the front facing camera when we were started using
Yeah,
phones.
that's a very good point.
Yeah, you just
So
took like a bunch and just hope that something happened.
Just hope.
yeah,
It's just like at Kodak phones. You just need the waiting period on those to see what would happen once all the film was developed.
Yeah, the
yeah.
anticipation.
But honestly, I feel like technology, it's not supposed to be cyclical, but I think it kind of is a little bit now. Like even with podcasts, like radio is supposed to be dead, but now like talking is back. And vinyl records are like super successful now and making more money than CDs. So that's all super weird, but I don't know. It's interesting to see like young people discover things for the first time, that like you already like went through that phase. But yeah.
Other things they say that they don't like when millennials think not liking pineapples on pizza is a personality trait.
Mm.
I don't know. Are they saying that like the fact that it's like a heated debate is a millennial thing?
Apparently, yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't mind pineapple on pizza, so I feel like I don't have any fight in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I
I
don't have a fight either because I think it's fine, but I don't
yeah.
feel I don't feel passionately.
I actually really love pineapple on my pizza, but I don't advertise it, but also I don't
Mhm.
advertise it because I've been like ashamed about it before. So I'm
Yeah.
a bit more reserved about my taste.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know.
What about saying I did a thing?
I hate that. It could literally be anything. It could be getting your COVID vaccine. It could be doing your taxes. It could be taking a poop. It could be getting married. It could be having a kid. It could be painting a wall. Like I did a thing is so
Give us specifics.
just tell us.
I get that. Yeah.
They also say saying shook it.
Forgive? I never said that.
The Shakespearean version of shook.
Yeah, a bit too much. I don't know.
I mean, I have one friend who used to say shooketh, but she's more in the, I think technically she's Gen Z. She was born in 97, but I don't know if she still says it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's interesting. They also say that millennials all hate the word moist.
Yeah, what's up with that? Do they?
I don't remember how that started.
I think that talking about how much you hate the word moist is kind of cheugy. Like
Ooh.
disliking it is like whatever. I don't care. Talking about it, being like, oh, moist. I hate when you use that word. I can't even hear it. Oh my God. That's very cheugy, in my opinion.
Yeah. So let's move into cheugy thing. They say cheugy is like being obsessed with Apple products. Do you think that's a cheugy thing? I feel like that's like Gen Z are obsessed with Apple products and like
Yeah, I feel like we all
AirPods
are.
and stuff. Yeah.
I think we all are.
Like as a country,
Mhm.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's pretty.
Yeah. And they say loving Friends, Harry Potter, Grey's Anatomy, The Simpsons, or The Office, which like those kind of make sense to me. I guess like Grey's Anatomy is the only one that's like, I mean, that's kind of like still happening a little bit, or I don't know if they ended. But I saw another page that said also loving Game of Thrones is cheugy, but I feel like that also like just happened.
Oh,
Yeah, that was pretty recent.
interesting. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But I feel like that was also just like 10 major franchises that it's hard to group them all together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I think The Office, I don't know. I really like The Office, and that might make me
Yeah, me
cheugy, and
too.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. I did see on the internet someone had like an office themed wedding, and I was
Ew,
like, I can see how
that's so
that's a little bit
cheugy.
cheugy. Yeah.
That's very cheugy.
That one makes
I
sense.
think themed weddings are cheugy. Doesn't matter
Oh, yeah.
what the theme is, it's very cheugy if you have a wedding that is a theme.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like, do you expect people to come dressed up? Like, I don't know what to do. It's like, wouldn't it be such a weird scenario if you're like Party City and everyone's like a child shopping for Halloween costumes? And I'm like, oh, I'm getting this for like Mark and Beth's wedding. Like,
Right?
it's just such a weird thing. Yeah, and they say being a Disney adult is cheugy.
Very cheugy.
Yeah. But I do like Disney World. I like the aesthetic, but I mean, I've never been like a pin collector or anything like that.
No.
Right.
And they say exposed light bulbs are cheugy.
Oh.
Exposed light bulbs.
Yeah.
I could see that, like the industrial look
Oh.
of like string lights type of thing.
Like in a mason jar kind of way, or
I think just like a light bulb without a lamp shade. Just like a plain light bulb.
like a design thing.
Yeah. I don't know.
Interesting.
They also say Starbucks merch and being obsessed with Starbucks.
Yeah, that's pretty cheugy.
Yeah. I think like having like the cups that have.
Yeah, there's like a specific, I don't know if I think they're called tumblers or something, but a specific kind of Starbucks cup that people go very crazy for and will like sell on the black market online. It's pretty crazy.
I
Very
feel like there's
cheugy.
just like one guy undercover who's just selling all this Starbucks merch. And that's terrifying. He's too powerful. He has like a monopoly over it all.
Definitely in the Illuminati.
Yeah. They say being obsessed with Netflix is cheugy.
Netflix.
Here's the thing. I think that when people are obsessed with saying like I'm just going to stay home and watch Netflix rather than like being specific about the show that they're watching, that can be kind of cheugy. Like it did annoy me when Netflix went digital and became really popular, and people are like, well, I'm just going to stay home and like we're just going to watch Netflix, when it's like the same thing as saying I'm going to go home and watch TV,
Mhm.
but specifying that it's Netflix, being like, oh my God, like Netflix, I guess, is kind of making it a thing and being like, oh my God, I'm just going to sit around for 5 hours and watch Netflix, rather than just being like, I'm going to sit around for 5 hours and watch Gilmore Girls, or like, I'm going to sit around for 5 hours and watch To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
Again, it's
You know,
be specific.
being,
Yeah.
you know what? Millennials and Gen Z, this is a message for everyone. Be specific. Stop telling us you did a thing. Stop telling me that you're feeling like Molly Smith is happy. Stop telling us that you're watching Netflix. Like, give us more.
What did you think of like Netflix and chill?
I feel like I had to constantly explain to people that Netflix and chill meant to fuck and not like to chill and watch Netflix. And that was a very annoying position to be in.
They actually just released an ice cream flavor from Ben and Jerry's called Netflix and Chill,
Right.
actually. So it's been pretty prolific that, yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I went in for like my like SAT like subject test and stuff. We were just about to go in, and um this guy was talking to his friends outside, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to Netflix and chill by myself later." And they were like, "You know
Oh
that
no.
means like sex, right?" And you just watch him like slowly slide down the wall into like a seated position, and he's like, "I said that to so many people." And so like right before we're about to take like the biggest test of our lives, he realizes that he made the worst
Oh
mistake.
no.
That's horrible.
I still think of him. I hope he's
Yeah.
okay.
We pray for you. We hope you're okay.
Yeah. So another chewy thing, they say spin classes and like being obsessed with going to spin classes.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah, I feel like that goes along with like Lululemon. I don't know. I just feel like that is kind of the aesthetic. Um,
Yeah.
and then also saying my person or my human
Hmm.
about like a significant other.
Interesting.
I didn't even write this one down because I was so uncomfortable with it. But like, it was like they also say the phrase like my boy did good, or like
Ew, gross.
Wow.
Okay,
awful.
here's the thing about my human or my person, is that I think, I don't know, sometimes the word like boyfriend or girlfriend is weird when you're talking about like someone who's an adult. I just think that, I mean, if I had a boyfriend, I would probably call him my boyfriend, but then it's like, well, he's not a boy, like he's not a child. But then saying like my partner
My
is
man
that's like
friend.
that's like heavy, and like man friend is
Yeah.
gross. Saying my partner, it's like, okay, like we just started dating, like you're not like my partner. But saying like my plus one, or like my guy, or my human.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think all the labels are weird. There's also the thing that people put in like their bios on Twitter or something that's like human person. And it like I don't know, I don't understand that. That it's like it feels like the robots are just like pretending like got him now. Except if like you make me identify the three like
Mhm.
stop signs in a picture, and that'll
Oh
get
yeah.
me.
Right.
But it's just I don't understand that.
Yeah.
And they also say caring about the Kardashians.
Oh.
Yuki.
I guess, yeah.
I don't know. I never was into. I know what I was supposed to keep up, but I never did.
Yeah.
I feel like the entire E channel is probably Cheugy. Like there's a lot of
That
content
makes
on there
sense.
that I'm down with, but like I think in general it's pretty Cheug.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they say loving Chrissy Teigen, which I feel like she's just kind of gone downhill lately. Anyway,
Yeah, what's up with Chrissy Teigen? What's going on?
I don't know. She like bullied someone. like a minor a while ago.
Wait,
I don't know.
really?
Yeah, she like told someone in like a private message or something to kill themselves.
Okay, I gotta
And so now
continue on.
everyone,
I need to look it up.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they also say saying that Chrissy Teigen and like John Legend are
John
like
Legend.
goals is cheap.
Oh, yeah. Or like, yeah, I think I might have heard something about her deleting her Twitter account,
And then she came
but
back in like a day.
she
So
came back.
she was like, I
Chrissy
couldn't do it.
Teigen controversy.
I
My
hate when
favorite thing.
people. Oh,
Sorry,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, it's just like my favorite thing to do is look up a celebrity's name and then type controversy.
Yeah, right? Right? But I don't know. I hate when people like make those big elaborate posts of like leaving social media. Like I
Mhm.
probably wouldn't notice if you just didn't post again. Like it's not.
Exactly. So they're like, I'm taking a break for 2 weeks, need to reset, get back to me. It's like, okay. So Chrissy Teigen, I'm reading this on parents.com.
Ooh.
Oh.
Um, so Chrissy Teigen has always been known for her outspoken takes on social media, but resurfaced tweets from 2010 have resulted in her coming under public fire. The situation is so intense that tongues are wagging about Teigen being canceled. Here are all the details. So basically, like she was tweeting about Courtney Stodden, who was a 16-year-old married to Doug Hutchinson, who was 51 at the time. And then, yeah, so I guess like these things just started to resurface from the past. There's more stuff, but you know what? You all know.
Yeah.
Listeners, viewers, you probably already know. And if you don't, go look it up.
Yeah. People our parents.com has the
Parents.com has the answers.
they also say saying girl boss is cheeky.
Oh, yeah.
I hate girl boss. Just
I also
say
say
you're a boss, or just say you are
Yeah.
a manager or a
Yeah.
leader or a creator
be
or
specific.
whatever
Yeah.
it is. Be specific. Be specific.
Yeah.
I think
I
also
feel like they
saying
meant it as an empowering way for some reason, and I feel like it makes it worse. Like, oh well, now
It
I'm
does.
suddenly like a girl. Like I'm. It's like usually about like 30-year-old working women, middle aged, and now they're girl boss. But it's
Yeah.
like it's worse somehow.
I think it's
Yeah, it's
also
like
worse when it's the hashtag and then they put the hashtag like if you have like a notebook that says like hashtag girl boss. Don't like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like
Also,
it's like a child dressed up in their parents' suit sitting at a desk and being like, I'm a girl and I'm a boss.
yeah. Also, I mean, I feel like I've been on social media for like a little over a decade now. I've never used hashtags. That's never been something I've like wanted to do. That like anytime someone like makes a word a hashtag and it's like you're not even on Twitter right now, that it's just cringy.
They also say cheeky things are thinking drinking wine is a personality trait and saying like wine Wednesdays or like anything like
I think
that.
really making any hobby a personality or just not having a
Yeah.
personality is very cheugy. Like
Yeah.
just being whatever it is that you like, cheugy.
Right?
Yeah. I feel like that's a common thread with a lot of like chuggy things. It's definitely that.
Yeah. And they say going to bars with pink neon lights. I don't think you have
Pink
control over
neon
that.
lights.
You don't
Yeah,
have
if you
control
go
over
to a bar with pink neon lights, you're chuggy.
that. I don't get it.
I don't think I have control over their design. Yeah, I thought that one was interesting. They also say loving French bulldogs and being obsessed with French bulldogs is
Oh.
chuggy.
Oh.
Okay, I would say that any kind of doodle dog is
Mm.
cheugy. Anything that's like anything that has doodle or poo in the name is a cheugy dog.
Winnie the Pooh has left the chat. They also say pop sockets, which I feel like, I
Pop
don't know.
sockets.
People still use pop sockets, so that seems
Yeah, what
weird.
the hell?
Yeah. And rose gold. But I feel like that
Oh.
was also like just new. I feel like that was the big
That
thing.
like just happened.
Yeah.
What the hell? Also, my personality and my brand is having rose gold hair. So like,
Oh,
who
yeah.
am I without rose gold?
Yeah.
I've been leaning on that for like 3 years.
They just came for you.
They just honestly, I am attacked. It's a personal attack.
They also say the phrase "not today, Satan."
All right, you guys,
Cool.
literally have a. I'm gonna take you on a journey. Hold on.
I'm excited.
Taking you on a journey over to my wall.
Oh, wow.
Obviously, it's backward, but
Oh my
here
God.
it is.
But it's not a rose
Wow.
gold sign that says "not today."
It's not rose golden. It's not in like that script.
Yeah,
So,
no, it's a good.
Yeah, it's not in
good.
that font.
yeah.
No, I like it. It's a good reminder of
I
not
mean,
today.
literally, every time that Satan tries to come for me, I say, "Did you
Check the
read that
sign.
Still not today."
And also, I feel like it's better if it's not like a wooden sign because I think wooden signs are
Mhm.
chewy.
Definitely.
And then they also say charcuterie boards, which I feel like just got like back popular again.
I feel like those
Yeah.
are currently popular.
Yeah.
Yeah. I refuse to accept that.
But also, I love meats and cheeses. Like,
Yeah.
No more. Which I feel like it's fun. Like charcuterie boards are just basically like Lunchables, right? Is that just what they were trying to do? Is that what Lunchables was just trying?
Wow, true.
Yeah, true.
Wow.
I think tapas, saying like we're going out for tapas is cheeky, but getting a charcuterie board is not.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
They also say marble, just like in general, like marbled anything, like
Oh.
marble countertops.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't feel strongly about anything.
Yeah.
And denim jackets.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I thought they came back like a baggy denim jacket.
Yeah.
Like that's also very 80s, and the 80s are back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
thought
feel like that's such a classic.
yeah, like a baggy denim jacket, put some patches on there. Like I thought that
Yeah.
that could make you cool.
Who's been like telling us all these things? Is there like,
Seriously.
are
Can
there
I
two
talk to the
factions?
manager? I just
They also say slogan tote bags, which like I don't know.
Oh.
yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. They say lasagna.
Lasagna? Wow.
What's wrong with lasagna?
Is there like a rationalization behind that?
No, someone
Or
just said my friend thinks lasagna is cheugy, and I kind of see it.
wow.
I really don't get it. And they say succulents, which I feel like are also very popular. But I think they
Yeah.
also say referring to your plants as your babies or children.
Plant mom.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Yeah, I
Can't
see
do
that.
Yeah. And they say only using Bumble, which I don't know.
Oh.
If it works, if you find love, if you find your human or your person, go for it.
Wow.
But they say holidays in Dubai, which feels very specific.
What? That is very specific.
That's specific. That's a targeted sort of thing. They're talking
Like we're
to one
talking
person
about
specifically.
you, Jane.
They're talking about you.
Naming your car. I don't know. My car's named. I have the Mar car. The only thing that works with my name.
Mine's called the Mall Rav.
Ooh.
I didn't give it that name. My parents gave it that name.
Yeah.
So
I actually named not my current car, but the car before that, that died. I called him Kevin. And then when he died, I put R.I.P. Kevin. But I feel like any sort of like joke name, Kevin is like my go-to.
I love it.
No, my car has been through a lot. There was the one time where we took the Mark car into the shop, and we said we didn't really want anything extra. We just wanted like oil changes and stuff. And they called back and they're like, "We need to replace your entire air conditioner." And I was like, "No, we're not interested." And they're like, "No. a mouse chewed into your car and it died in the air conditioner and it's been slowly like rotting in there for the
Oh
past
my
like 6
God.
months. So then I had to
6 months?
contact all my friends and be like, hey, so you know how
Wait.
you breathed in my car? You probably should have done that.
Wow.
Oh my God.
That's crazy. I mean, I don't know what kind of medical examining expertise these people have, but that's like a long time to like have a body decompose for
Yeah.
them to be like, this has been here for 6 months. That's a lot.
That's
Yeah.
the power
Wow.
of my Captain America car air freshener, I guess.
Amazing.
Wow.
Is Captain America Cheugy?
I don't know. Like, I think Marvel things are kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. For some reason, I feel like X-Men are Cheugy.
Yeah, I
Cheugy.
could see that.
Yeah, that's interesting. I feel like DC Comics are Cheugy. I don't know. Maybe it's just
Yeah.
because I don't like them.
Are you a Marvel girl?
Yeah. Because every DC Comics movie they make is like pretty bad. And they should
Yeah.
stop doing that.
They should
Yeah.
stop
Yeah.
doing movies that are bad.
Yeah. But this one I definitely go with that John Green books are Cheugy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think that is a big thing. Um,
Every John Green book is the same. It's
yeah.
about a like boring white dude who is like obsessed with a manic pixie dream girl who like something mysterious happens to her and his like token brown friend is like, "Whoa, why are you wasting your time?"
That's literally it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What if like every writer just did that? That they just did the same exact book over and over again and pretended it was different.
Many of them do.
Yeah.
Many of them do. Many of the most profitable ones do.
Because there was
Yeah.
that one time that like Looking for Alaska that went through like a bunch of scandals of how the film, I guess they were like trying to do an adaptation. I don't know if it ever happened, but it just kept getting shut
Oh,
down.
it became a Hulu mini
Oh
series,
wow.
like limited series. Yeah.
Really?
But I
Okay,
was
so
like, it's already been remade. It's Paper Towns. Like
Yeah.
okay, I am wondering why they like ran into issues in production. Like why was it taking a long time to be made?
I think actually the film rights got bought pretty early on in his career. And then
Got
once
it.
The Fault in Our Stars became popular, then they were like, oh, we can probably make more money off of the first book that we also still have the rights for.
Yeah.
But
Man, I
yeah.
was just on the cusp of the John Green era because I was in like the Looking for Alaska era, and by the time The Fault in Our Stars came out, I had like aged out of John Green. Um so I still haven't read or seen A Fault in Our Stars, and I probably won't. I mean,
Yeah, it was all right. I wouldn't watch it again.
yeah.
I'm
But
also
I feel like I was there for the height of the John Green stuff.
Mhm.
But it's interesting because I feel like he does get considered a bit chuggy with his whole book, career. But his brother Hank Green is like a TikTok star and
Good
like
for him.
beloved by Gen Z kids.
Huh.
yeah.
He's like the honorary like science dad who they ask questions to.
Wow.
So it's interesting to see the two brothers held in very different regards by like the same generation.
That's very interesting.
But I feel like I also grew up with John Green as like the Crash Course guy. I feel like that's the
Yeah.
only reason I passed history. Was
I
like
remember when they first launched like the first few series of that, and I was like, this is perfect because I'm taking like the AP World Test right now and
yeah.
I need to learn
Mhm.
right now. But yeah.
What a guy. They also say herbalescent shampoo
Yeah, I
is
could see that.
chuggy.
I
Yeah.
could see that.
Savannah, you seem unsure. Do you use
But it's
herbal?
a very specific brand of shampoo to be chuggy.
Yeah.
Anything about it specific that is chuggy or
They just say it feels like it.
I think in part it's like the color scheme and the branding, like something that's like bright
Oh.
green like that. And so anything that's
Oh,
like
bright
you're gonna
green.
have mermaid hair type of
Oh yeah.
vibe could be chuggy. Yeah, it's another one of those things where I'm like, I could see it. Can I explain it? Not really, but
Yeah. So that intuition.
It's an intuition, yeah.
And then they also say reposting the birthday shout outs you get on Instagram, like on your
Rude.
Oh,
stories.
wow.
I love to do that.
I mean, I don't think I get any, so I think I'm safe.
Maria, when is your birthday?
October 16th.
All right, I'm gonna put it in the calendar.
Oh my
I'm gonna
god.
send you a birthday shout out. And here's the thing is that like I feel self-conscious when I give someone a birthday shout out and they don't add it to their
Right?
story. I'm like, what? Do you think it was a bad picture of you? Because it's not.
Yeah, no, that's yeah. I need validation.
Yeah.
Please.
But
I don't
then
know. I
also
feel like not all of my friends are like active on Instagram. So it'd be weird to like only do shout outs for certain people and not others. But
Yeah.
also, I have a thing which I think other people relate to where sometimes with certain friends, I'm just like, we spend so much time together and then we don't have any photos together whatsoever.
True.
So I'm like, how can I can't prove that I actually hang out with this person.
Yeah.
can't prove I know you.
I can't prove it.
But they also say having your Instagram highlights color coordinated,
Oh.
which I feel like that was a thing for like a
Instagram
really long
highlights.
time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I only
I-
have two Instagram highlights. One
Mm.
is of my dog, my fur baby. Just kidding. And the other one is of this Instagram. I guess you could call it a series that I call Lil Molly, where I repost Facebook memories from like 10 to 12 years ago. Those posts that are like Molly is happy. Molly had the best weekend of her life, like that kind of stuff. And sometimes I'll add my own little commentary. Sometimes I'll just let them be there. But those are the only two highlights that I have. And for a very long time, maybe up until like a year ago, I didn't have any because I was like, what do I have to highlight?
I love no, but when you're talking about like Molly is happy for some reason, I'm thinking of did you ever see Uptown Girls?
Yeah.
Like the final song where they're like Molly smiles and stuff. That's
Oh
for some reason what I'm
yeah.
thinking of.
Yeah.
Wow. I totally forgot about that movie until now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brittany Murphy.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Silvana, do you want to bring us into our game?
Sure. So we started a segment, I think maybe a few episodes ago, called Gen Z versus Millennial, because I feel like our podcast kind of exists in the gray area between the two generations. So we like to pick out cultural moments and discern which generation it really fits into.
Okay.
So, and I think we touched on this a little bit, but the first one is Tumblr and specifically 2014 Tumblr. And if that era and like sort of Tumblr's peak, does that fit into more millennial people or Gen Z? Because I've seen Gen Z people romanticize being in high school in 2014, and I'm like, one, that's not too long ago, and two,
Right.
it wasn't great. It was fine.
It was fine.
Yeah.
Okay, good question. 2014 Tumblr, I think, is more Gen Z because, like, thinking back, so for me, I was a junior in college in 2014, and I'm on like the younger end of millennial. And by that point, like, most people were off of Tumblr. Like, if they were on Tumblr, they were on Tumblr in high school, or they were currently in high school and on Tumblr. So I'm going to say Gen Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's true. And I also think maybe it is just like the true Zillennial social platform, because like I know out of the Gen Z kids that I do know that are like firmly within Gen Z, they're like never had a Tumblr, too mainstream, too many people were on it. It like
Yeah.
was not cool. But yeah, it is interesting that like, because I feel like 2014 was so recent that it's interesting to see people already like romanticize that past.
Mhm.
And I'm like, no.
Yeah. No, yeah, I think it's also interesting, like, I think we were kind of like in the thick of the Tumblr era, but I feel like there were like agents from both sides, like on the
Yeah.
platform, because then you would see
Yeah.
things on like Twitter or things even pop up on TikTok now that are either like screenshots of a Tumblr post that I remembered or like bringing up like, oh, I found this like really old post and like blah, blah, blah. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, but we were talking about this on Tumblr like back in the day. So I feel like they're kind
Right.
of like agents on both sides and then
I agree.
band it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the next one, which is also something we allude to on this podcast, is like the generational war between millennials and Gen Z. Like, is that sort of like generational tiff, that fighting energy? Do you think that's more of like coming from the millennial side or the Gen Z side? Like, is there an instigator or is it more just like sibling rivalry, like was inevitable?
Wow. What a good question. I think I think that millennials are probably more apt to say it's Gen Z's fault, and Gen Z is more like they will like feign uh like apathy, be like, well, I don't even care what they think. So I don't know. I'm gonna say it's probably a two-sided uh instigator type of situation.
Yeah, what about you, Maria?
Um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like millennials like blaming things on Gen Z just because like I feel like everyone blamed millennials for everything.
That's
And
true.
so it's nice to like I feel like there was something that was like millennials were killing real estate with avocados or something. Like I don't
Yeah,
know. There's all
they will
this
never
stuff.
stop.
But I think like Gen Z has the ability to say like all of these things that you are doing is wrong and no longer
Yeah.
popular in a way that like millennials there's not really a way for them to do that because they don't really have a like
Yeah,
a
I
point
do
on
think that's true. Where
yeah
it's like I feel like Gen Z will like make fun of a lot of things and it's like all in good jest. And then when millennials make fun of Gen Z, sometimes it's like, oh well, you're like, I don't know, like 35 making fun of children. Like it's
Right.
less
Yeah,
endearing.
totally.
All right, so next on the list is Miley Cyrus, because I
Mm.
think like age-wise she herself is a millennial, but as a cultural icon with like her Hannah Montana and then her bangers era and now whatever she's doing now, I think she's in her rock era right now. Do you think she's more of like a Gen Z pop icon or for millennials?
So I think that Hannah Montana version of Miley is Gen Z. I think that current Miley is more, well, I think maybe shared by both. I didn't watch Hannah Montana. I was like just a little bit too old for Hannah Montana when it was on. But I think that like once Miley Cyrus started to like have her like sexual awakening and started to like be a be more of a grown up and was sort of like, I don't know, when she started posing like eh, that's when I think that she kind of was adopted by the millennials.
I definitely see that. Yeah. What about you, Maria? Did you watch Hannah Montana?
I did watch Hannah Montana and I think like yeah I agree that Hannah Montana is more Gen Z and then I think she tried to distance herself from that population and go back to millennial, but then now Gen Z is a little bit edgier, so I think now she's like kind of yeah, back in between the two. But
That's
yeah,
true.
no, I think I don't know, it's just really interesting that she like essentially was supposed to like play herself and stuff and then just getting
Yeah.
stuck in this like weird like fake little wig thing that just like the wig was never good and
No.
I don't know, it must be a weird position to be like this teen icon and then have a whole
Yeah.
career afterwards.
Is
Yeah,
it
I
the
think
best of both worlds? Maybe
Yeah.
not.
yeah. Yeah, I do think for a while she was kind of like forced to cater to people much younger than her. And then when she was able to sort of like do what she wanted for her own age and maturity, then she sort of like bridged that gap.
Yeah,
But
totally.
yeah, and then my final thing on the list is kombucha tea as a
Mm.
trend because I know a lot of Gen Zs are very like they're into like different vegan foods and a lot more adventurous food wise. But kombucha I think was like one of those early like health trends that I think could be considered like maybe a Cheugy thing or a millennial thing. What do you guys think?
So are we talking about just drinking kombucha or brewing kombucha?
Ooh, both. I do have a friend's mom who brews her own kombucha.
Hmm.
That's definitely like her favorite hobby. But what do you guys think?
I don't know. This
Yeah.
is tough. I okay. So brewing kombucha, I think, really was having a moment in like 2015-ish. I was on a medical leave of absence from college, and I decided that I wanted to brew kombucha as like a healing activity.
Ooh. Did it work?
And
Did
I
did
was
you
living in my
feel?
parents' basement, and they were like, you know what? As long as you don't bring it upstairs, just don't let us see it, then it's fine. And I think that like the sense of like I'm taking care of this thing, I've made this thing, was very millennial in kind of chuggy, the same way that like being a plant mom and being like I'm obsessed with my plants is like kind of chuggy. um like looking at my little SCOBY and being like, what are you doing? That was pretty, I think that was like a pretty millennial thing. But I don't know, it does fit into that like healthy, like I love probiotics type of Gen Z vibe. I don't know, what do you two think?
Yeah, I don't know. I actually, one of the more Gen Z like influencers I follow on Instagram, she has a whole brand deal with a specific kombucha brand. So I feel like I've begun to more associate kombucha with um, Gen Z, but it was definitely one of like the earlier health trends that I remember happening. So
Yeah.
I think it does cross a little generational line sometimes. Do you drink kombucha, Maria?
I've never had kombucha. It
Yeah.
just looks scary to me.
I'm
Um,
scared.
but yeah, no, I don't know. It's interesting. I liked what you were saying, Molly, about like something to take care of. I feel like that is everything that was like millennial culture. Like if you look at like the Furby, I think Tamagotchi was also something that you had to like take care of.
Yeah,
Why was so
definitely.
much about like early motherhood in millennial culture?
You know what? I think it's a combination of one, like having the generation raising us mostly being boomers. So there's kind of like still this like cultural narrative of like be a mother, take care of this thing. And then simultaneously, now that we are adults, like there are fewer people having kids. They're like, I'm 30. I don't want to have a kid. Like, no way. I'm going to take care of this plant or this SCOBY and brew kombucha. And it's like an outlet for that, like, parental nurturing, an alternative, if you will. I don't know.
I feel like this has just been a whole therapy session.
Truly has. So healing, you guys.
If this came up on your page, we're probably talking about you.
We are talking directly to you. Listen, this is a support group. We're here.
It
Exactly.
is, yeah. But
Awesome.
yeah, I think that's a good way to round out our
Yeah.
time here.
Yeah. Do you want to do a Mad Lib really quick? So here
Cool.
is the Diva Girl Mad Libs, and you just
Uh,
know she's a girl boss. um,
I love her.
we do Mad Libs every time, but we're not very good at it.
Okay,
I don't know
cool.
if it's fun for anyone else but us.
Cool. I'm
But
ready. I think it's
We
gonna
thought
be
it
fun.
would spike some audience participation. And
and
so
then
our
it
audience
did.
participation has been mostly like us texting our friend Brooke and being like, hey, give us a noun.
Yeah. And then we call her a listener.
Love it.
um, Molly, could you give me a plural part of the body?
Arms.
Ooh. Savannah, could you give me a verb?
A verb. Oh no. Chasing.
Ooh. And then I'm going to do an adjective. I'm going to say silly. Molly, could you give me a noun?
Balls.
Ooh. And Savannah, can you give me a plural noun?
Plural noun. Tide Pods.
Ooh,
Good
that's a
one.
good one.
Fun fact, my laptop is actually being propped up on a thing of detergent pods.
Oh my god.
Very professional setup, but yeah.
And then this one, it's this type of building. What does that even mean? I'm
A
going to say
type of
retirement
building.
home.
Love that.
um, Molly, could you give me another noun?
Scarf.
Ooh. Savannah, a verb ending in ing.
Verb ending in ing. Scratching.
Ooh. And then I have plural nouns. I'm going to say snails. Um, Molly, could you give me another part of the body?
Toes.
Ooh. Savannah, a type of liquid.
Type of liquid.
I don't know what that means.
Gasoline.
Ooh.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
And then I do an adjective. I'm going to say squirrely. And Molly, could you give me a type of building?
A type of building. Porta potty.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And Savannah, could you give me an adjective?
Adjective. Smelly.
Okay. This is the handbag confidential.
I can't wait.
Okay, ready? They say that the arms are the window to the soul. That may be true, but you can definitely tell more about a woman by what she likes to chase in her handbag. Some women like bags that are very silly, while others like a bag that's as small as balls. There are some common things to every bag, such as a wallet to hold their Tide Pods and their retirement home keys. Sometimes they carry a cell scarf or maybe a pair of glasses for scratching. They might also carry snails to color their toes. Some women even carry band-aids and gasoline in case of a squirrely emergency. One thing you can definitely say, no matter who she is, most women aren't going to leave their porta potty without their smelly bag.
That fit really well.
that was perfect.
Because she's a girl boss.
Because she's a girl boss. You gotta have a girl bag if you're gonna be a girl boss.
Exactly. Girl is only as strong as her smelly bag.
Yeah. Life, man. But yeah, it's been really nice talking to you today. Thanks for coming on.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. So honored to be a guest. This was so fun. Really got me thinking about a lot of things that are cheugy, things that may not be. Who owns what? What's
Right?
going on? Why won't people be more specific?
Yeah.
Why are they so elusive?
And is there anything you want to plug or where they can find you on social?
Yeah, totally. So you can follow me on social at Molly Birdsmith, and I'm on Twitter and Instagram. And you can check out my podcast. It's called Did That Age Well? And you can follow us on social media as well at Did That Age Well? And also, I'm going to be looking for a job. So if you have any sort of like marketing communications job that you like want to hire me for, I'm going to be a master of marketing. So you would be so lucky
Ooh.
to hire me.
We love
That's
networking.
Definitely.
I'm just here to network. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Don't. Please don't. Yeah, that's it.
Yay. Yeah. So you can find our podcast, Millennial Support Group podcast, on Instagram as Zillennial Support Group, on Twitter as ZSG Podcast. Please email us words for our Mad Lib at zillennialpodcast@gmail.com. And yeah, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah.
I hate being the person to like say that. I don't know.
I know. I get it. I do.
Awesome.
All right. Well, bye.